Hey there all and welcome to my channel. In this video I'm going to show you how to make this image selector or carousel using only HTML and CSS. So let's get started with our raw file. Here we have our file and by this we can sort this out. The images are too big and the checkbox is right here. So let me first of all walk you through my HTML setup, and here I have the div class, main div with the class name of container, and then an input tag, actually 3 input tags. And then I have a type radio which defines what kind of input that is specified here. And then we have the name. Now the name I have common in 3 of them, and that's because if I just remove the name right here, there we go, we can only choose 2 and the one is not selected. When the first one is selected, the second one isn't. When I select the second one, the first one isn't, but the third one remains like that, and that's because it wasn't considered as a part of this main controls. So the controls is basically a gate. You can put any name, but you should have the same name on 3 of them, and that's how we know that when one button is pushed, the others shouldn't be selected. And finally I have given them class name of radio 1, radio 2 and radio 3. And then I have some images, some stock image I got from the internet right here. There we go. I have just 3 images with the class name of image 1, image 2 and image 3, and then div clause. That's it. Now let's move on to our CSS. I have aligned, I've already set the padding and margin to 0, and let me just paste something here. Oh, not this one. Alright, I have given the height 100 px and centered everything. Right now it doesn't look as much centered, it looks like a mess, but don't worry, we will fix it right away when we code our container. So dot container, and I will give it a height of 500 pixels and then width of 600 pixels. And there we go, the image is responding to our height and width. And also give it a position relative so that the checkbox and the images are relative to each other. And after that we can use display flex also here. So copy it and paste display flex right here. And there we go, everything's out of our hands again, but don't worry, everything's under control because we are right now gonna change the image. So I'm gonna give it a width of 100%, which means it will take the whole width and height, or it just contains itself within the height and width I specified on the container. So 100%. And position absolute, since we don't want each image to show up at each random position. So view, there you go, they are converged. But where is our radio button, you may ask, and I will show you a trick. We just put input, that is specifying this tag right here, and then I will give it a z index of 1, which is basically the stacked number. So it was actually there, but it was underneath the images. So when I put 1, it's going to appear on top of it, so kind of like an overlay. Alright, now let's just give it a height and width of 30 pixels. Width of 30 pixels. Oh, 300, it's big. Alright, have 30 pixels. Actually, I don't need the height. Okay. Alright, now let's just put a margin and be done with it. Margin, and it's gonna set to top and bottom is gonna be 0, and then 10 pixels on the left and right. There we go. Maybe 15 would be nice. Alright, it seems perfect to me, and also it's centered right here because I've specified justify content center. And if I put flex end, it will drag the image down with it, so we don't want that. So instead, what we are going to do is translate this checkbox. So 0 pixels, which is going to be x-axis, and then on y-axis I'm going to give it a 150 pixels. There we go, it's nicely on the bottom right here. Now let's go. Oh, one more thing, I want the image to have a, this is optional, but a box shadow, and then 0 0, that is x and y offset, and then 30 pixels, which is the blur, and then black. Oh, 30 pixels seems to be a bit too much. Maybe 10. Alright, now it's okay. Great. Let me just, alright, now it's perfect. And next thing, what we need to do right now, the images are in responding with the checkboxes, but we can make that go away. So input, so remember I have given the class name for radio 1, and here comes the magic, and checked pseudo class. So checked is basically it just check whether the checkbox is checked. I hope you understood that. And anyway, the sibling, here is the sibling selector, which selects whatever is within it. So we aren't specifying the container to have a checked box, we are actually specifying this one. And since the images are inside the input tag, we need to use this selector right here. Okay, now let's do first image, img1, and then I'll give it opacity 1, and don't worry, I will change the opacity of the main images right after this. Copy it and paste it, and then all the ones turns to 2s and the other ones turns to 3s. Alright, right now so this won't be working, but it will work after we put opacity to 0. Opacity 0. Right, there we go. And also I'm gonna put a transition right here, 0.5 seconds. Alright, now it's working properly, and the final glorified version of this carousel will be uploaded to my codepen, and the link will be given down below on the video. And I hope you guys enjoyed this video and learned something new on the way. Until the next video, goodbye.